Hi and welcome to the Insolvency Experts video series entitled The Top 20 Tips for Surviving in Small Business. I'm Steve Kugel. Tip 9 in the series is specific to business survival in Australia and has come about because of the increased powers of the Australian Taxation Office with regard to the director penalty regime. To explain, until 29 June 2012, a director could only become personally liable for an unpaid company PAYG tax debt where the ATO issued a director penalty notice that expired without appropriate action being taken. That is, if a company did not pay its tax debt or its director did not place the company into liquidation within 21 days from the date on the penalty notice, the director would become personally liable for the company's PAYG tax debt as listed in the notice. Consequently, until June 2012, most directors would simply choose to liquidate their company when a director penalty notice was received, with the effect being that they avoided personal liability for a company tax debt, but the Commonwealth lost out on its revenue. Having learned this lesson, the government broadened the penalty regime to include both unpaid PAYG and unpaid superannuation, but perhaps more significantly, changes were made to the circumstances in which a director could and could not avoid personal liability for such tax debts. Under the new laws, all business activity statements must be lodged within 3 months of their due dates. Otherwise, the director will become automatically personally liable for the unreported and unpaid debts regardless of whether the company is liquidated or not. Where, however, BAS returns have been lodged within 3 months of the due date, the penalty regime works as it always has. That is, if a director penalty notice is received, the director can avoid personal liability by paying the debt or placing the company into liquidation within 21 days from the date on the notice. Put simply, lodge all BAS returns within 3 months of the due date and receive a 21-day grace period in which to respond to a director penalty notice. Lodge later than the 3 months and there will be no way of avoiding the personal liability for those tax debts. Apart from these changes, there are others that must be discussed on a case-by-case basis. So remember, if you have a financial problem, either corporate or personal, the Insolvency Experts operate a confidential and entirely free 24-hour insolvency advice line with all calls able to be anonymous if required. Call us 24 hours on 1300 767 525 and we'll be there to help.